What is up, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome back to P&Q, the question and answer series where you put questions to me or comments, then I respond in a future P&Q episode. So yeah, this is the living room or front room edition. Never done I have done a P&Q here before. It was further back, and it was when we just moved in. And it was, I think it was to do with Christmas time. It was either a P&Q or a chill with Pete. Might possibly have been a chill or an update. I've done a video anyway. But anyway, this is like official P&Q. I've got my questions. I've got some strawberries here, which are fresh out of the fridge. Local farm. Gorgeous. English strawberries. Yeah, something I've never done. Strawberry picking. Anyway, I've also got a beverage, not a cup of tea, a cup of pineapple juice in my brand new Planet of the Apes mug. Oh yeah, baby. So let's see how we go with that. So front room, I've got the light on. If I turn it off, it looks like that. I think it looks better with it on. So here we are. So I'm just going to get my questions up, and we'll carry on with the randomization. Okay. Right. Okay. The next question on this randomized journey asks, do you have any favorite RPG war stories? So that's the question. So this is how it works. I ask, or I don't ask, you guys, or I get questions given to me by people. I then ask it here, and then I answer it here. So if you've got any questions, so this is a good point to interject this. If you've got any questions, pop them down in the comment section below, and I'll answer them. All comments. Dylan, my dog's just come in because it's obviously too hot out there, and he's on his cooling mat. He's chewing a buffalo ear or something huge, like pig's ears, but twice the size sort of thing. Anyway, as I was saying, I digress. Let's get back to the question. Do you have any favourite RPG war stories? Not war stories as such, not worth telling or would be of any entertainment value, really. I think I mentioned in the previous episode about the weekend campaign we did, or the game session we did, which lasted all weekend. That was for charity when I was at school. Not really a war story. I suppose in my old group, towards the end, my best friend there, Chris, he was playing a magic user at the time, and he ended up in the last game turning to evil. He became an evil wizard, and it was the rest of us versus him. And yeah, he lost. I think his character died such a long time ago now, I can't remember, but yeah, that was a bit of a shock, a bit of a twister. So it's not really like any entertainment value. So yeah. Okay, let's go on. Do you read? What is your favourite genre? Well, yes, of course I read. As for favourite genre, depends who it's written by or how well it's written. Not necessarily who it's written by, but how well it's written. I don't know if I have a favourite. I suppose mystery, crime, mysterious, that kind of thing. I like mysterious and crimes. I think that's probably my favourite genre as it is. Yeah. Okay, next question then. And before I move on, let's grab a sip of pineapple juice from my new mug. This arrived this morning. I've also got the DVDs now, the original ones. Okay, I think it's strawberry time again. This question asks, would you ever come to the States, do you think? As in America, I've been to Florida, and I'd love to come again. I loved it over there. That's fantastic. I had a fantastic holiday. 2 weeks I was over there. If you look back on my P&Qs and videos, you'll see I even did a subscriber thank you. I think it might be in my updates or random videos. Just have a look. I do a walk around the neighborhood in Florida. That was hot. That was a funny story on that one. So yeah, I have been. Yes, I would go again. Okay. The next question here today says, ever thought about creating your own game? Yeah. I have created my own game. It's not very good. And it doesn't inspire me, so why would it inspire anyone else? Plus, so many good games out there. I don't see the point in trying. I've got everything that I want in a game out there. If we're talking RPG games, I assume that's what we're talking. Yeah. Right. Is there a favourite time of day that you like to paint miniatures? Oh, yes. This time of day, which is kind of like noon, or between noon and 1, sort of midway through the day, when the sun is streaming through the windows and you get the best natural lighting possible for your miniature painting. That's my favourite time to paint miniatures. Back in the old days when I started the hobby, it used to be of an evening, because that was you know, it's funny how life changes. You know, when your children are younger, the night time is your only solace, really, when they go to bed, and you grab you grab a few minutes of peace to do your hobby, and they leave home like they have now. And I've got any time I kind of want, provided I'm not working. So, but yeah, midday I suppose is my favourite time to paint miniatures. Not too tired either then. Ooh, this is a hard one. What is your preferred meal of choice? Definitely requires a strawberry. Look at the size of these bad boys, look. I don't know if I've got a preferred meal of choice. Go away. Talking to a fly that's buzzing around. Depends how I feel at the time. I don't really have one. Again, if I was younger, I'd have said some sort of takeout or other. But I don't really have one now. There's an interesting question, a fairly recent one. How come you've brought this series back? Because I love doing it. I absolutely love it. I love just sitting down in a location of my choice, reading questions that people have put to me, thinking about them, and answering them. I wanted to keep it going all along, but I never had the questions. Now I do. Things are different, so, you know. Great question. Great question. Oh, nice one. Will you ever be getting back on the old bicycle again? I don't know. Never say never. That's what I say. I'd like to. Will I get fit enough? Possibly. I'm positive, thinking yes I will. So I'm going to say yes sometime. And this is the best time of year to do it. Obviously I wouldn't want to do it in the winter. But yeah, why not? Why not? Do you have any favourite monsters for fantasy role-playing? Favourite monsters? Favourite monsters? I suppose I'm going to be boring now and say the old-fashioned orc. Because they were like goblins and orcs. They were like one of the first monsters I faced in role-playing games. I'm not going to say like dragons and whatever else, but I suppose when I was playing computer games and I had a Commodore Amiga, I had a game called Eye of the Beholder. So the Beholder, and that was my favourite monster, but it was very, very hard. Anybody remember that, Eye of the Beholder, on the Commodore Amiga? Yeah, so yeah, that was fun. Are you a beach person? Well, not like some. I don't like spend every waking hour down at the beach, but I do like the beach. Yes, I do. I really enjoy it, and I like it particularly at the weekends when I can take Dylan down there and let him off the lead so that he can run around to his heart's content. Okay, yes, another one. Will you show how you play a solo game of bolt action? Yes, at some point I will. Of course, I will show how I play solo games of everything. And all I can ask is that you bear with me. That's all I can ask, really. Yes, just bear with me. Bolt action, by its very nature, is a skirmish game, so a bit easier to do solo, as it's a smaller area, and I've got enough room to do bolt action. So yeah, well, absolutely, I will show how to play solo bolt action, and plus other games as well. Thank you for your question. Oh my, this is a strange comment. I'm a bit crazy, and I guess I seem dangerous, which means no one will play with me. I'm a nerd too. Well, everybody's crazy. I don't know you personally, sir. I think you're a sir. Seem dangerous. That's probably, without meeting you, I assume you're kind of like a little bit autistic, like all of us. And you're possibly quite on the spectrum. No offence, don't mean any offence by any of that. Which means no one will play with me. I'm a nerd too. So, well, I don't know. You're not really asking me a question, but I would suggest try solo gaming, my friend, and you'll never look back. Okay, how many goblins have you painted in your life? Guess roughly. 20. Easy. The recent goblin box that I bought from Games Workshop. Up until then, I've never painted a goblin in my life. Nice, easy one. But I thought I was going to say thousands, didn't you? But no. How many orcs have you painted in your life? Oh, crikey, I don't know. Quite a few. Loads. Plus, if you count the Warhammer 40k ones, that's even more. I mean, I was painting orcs like in Hero Quest back in those days. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess. Alright, I will hazard a guess. Go on then. A couple of hundred. What sort of time do you usually get up in the day? That's a great question. I realise we're doing loads of questions today. But it's something I feel like doing, you know. I'm spending time downstairs with Dylan. He's just sat on his mat chomping his buffalo ear. It's too hot for him to go outside. The door's open. He's in and out. It's too hot at the moment to go out with him. I took him out this morning. So the question, that links nicely. What sort of time do I usually get up in the day? Between 5:30 and 6:30. Depends on the day. In the week, Monday to Friday, about 5:30. Weekends, about 6:30. on an average. It's really when Dylan wakes up, you see. Do you believe in chasing your dreams? Well, that's an interesting, deep question. I believe in chasing my dreams. Okay, so we're getting philosophical now. Personally, my own personal philosophical ethos is no, I don't. I believe in bringing your dreams to you. So bringing my dreams to me by manifestation. My wife and I, we manifested coming to live in Seaton. We manifested this house. We manifested the specifications of our house. It works. It's nice and cooling. Pineapple juice. Nice and cooling. So yeah. Oh wow. This is a musical question. How would you describe your bass playing style and who are some of your influences? Well, I have several. Performance-wise, in terms of stage presence and how my energy is on stage, or was, I suppose I was influenced heavily by the likes of Ritchie Blackmore and Eddie Van Halen. Now, I know they're not bass players, but they had such an interesting stage presence. I wanted to emulate that in my bass guitar performances. In terms of musicality, I suppose my two main ones would be Roger Glover from Deep Purple, still one of the oldest heavy metal bass guitarists still performing. And the other one, which is also one of the oldest heavy metal bass guitarists still performing, Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. If it wasn't for Steve Harris, I don't think I would have got into music in the first place, like ever. So I'm going to attribute it to those four people mainly. Ritchie Blackmore, Eddie Van Halen, Steve Harris and Roger Glover. Great question. Fantastic. Would you ever do a band reunion tour? Yes, I would. It's not out of the question. I would. Definitely. I wonder if my old guitarist put that one up. Would you ever do a band reunion tour? Yeah, the answer is yes, I would. Always open for talks. I'd have to have a heck of a lot of practice to get back up to the standard I used to be, but yeah, of course I would. Yeah, count me in. As a seaside town dweller, do you prefer it when the town is busy or quiet? Personally, as a local, I prefer it when it's quiet. I know that's not so good for local businesses and economy, but that's just me. I prefer it when it's quiet, just easier. I am a peace and quiet loving kind of guy. That's my treasure, peace and quiet. So yeah, I prefer when it's quiet. Do a couple more. Do you like Doctor Who? Who is your favourite Doctor? Yes, I like Doctor Who. Favourite Doctor? I know them all up to Jodie. Is it Jodie Whittaker? And I don't know the one after her. So have a guess what you think my favourite doctor is. Who you think my favourite doctor is. It says toss up between two. Okay. And they are John Pertwee and Tom Baker. My two favourite doctors. I watched it relentlessly when I was a child. Scared myself senseless over the Daleks. Cybermen didn't scare me so much back then. I could see they were just men in costumes, but Daleks I wasn't so sure about. Good question. How often do you do training sessions with Dylan? Several times a day. Every day. And that is what you've got to do if you're training a dog from scratch. Keep it going, because the moment you stop training, take your foot off that gas pedal, they will relapse back into their old ways, and they'll be getting naughty and they'll slip into bad habits. So you've got to keep training them, be on top of it every day. That's the best advice I can give anybody with a dog. Right, Dylan? He's just there now. Yeah, bud? Yeah. One day, we'll do a video, him and I will be on this sofa. Fancy that, bud? And he's a calmer boy. He's like a lot calmer than he used to be when he first came to us. We've had him a year now, you know. He's grown in confidence, you know. He's not the scared, terrified animal he was when we first got him. He's gotten used to his surroundings. Like I say, he's grown in confidence. He's becoming quite the clown. He's got a lot of funny little quirks and nuances about him, and I love him to bits. So yeah, one day he'll be here. But yes, every day. I think I'll make this my last one. Have you ever woken up and thought that you're in a different reality from the one you were used to? Yeah, a few times. I've had like a bit of a mental schism, as it were, and thought, this don't feel right. I don't remember that. I attribute things to the Mandela effect. I had one the other day. Remember the scene in Pulp Fiction? Because it came up on my YouTube feed. The burger, the Kahuna, Big Kahuna burger scene, where he's talking to Brett. He says, do you mind if I have a bit of your burger? And he's like, go ahead. I always remember it as when he picks the burger up, the burger already having like one bite out of it, and he just turns it to the side and bites the other side. Now the clip I saw the other day, I was like, it was like half eaten already, and I thought, that's not right, that's not how I remember it. That's the Mandela effect, or perhaps I'm in a different reality. The time I felt it most, I suppose, was when I came back from hospital last year, and I wasn't sure what was real, what was fake. I just didn't know what was real or not. I knew I was on like a concoction of drugs and pills and things to sort of help me, but it made understanding reality very, very difficult and strange to me. I'm hopefully back with the program now, so but yeah, I have woken up and done that. Right, I am going to make that the last question, because I think I've done quite a few. I don't know how many. I think it's way more than 10. But I enjoyed that. I can turn my iPad off now. I'll just switch it to the off setting. How long have I been going for? 25 minutes. Well, that isn't bad. It's not bad at all. Let's celebrate with another strawberry, shall we? If you want to eat strawberries along with me, you go right ahead. These are alright for your dog as well. They call them a sweet treat for your dog. Perfectly safe. Grapes not so though. Do not feed your dog grapes, but you can give them strawberries. Very nice. And back to the Planet of the Apes mug. I know you can't see it here so much, but yeah, pineapple juice. So that brings me to the end of this episode. Can I ask you guys a question? Can you give me some feedback on this series? Do you hate it? I'm going to keep going until I run out of questions anyway, but do you hate it? Do you not mind it? I love doing it, but I know it doesn't get a lot of views, but that's fine. I don't mind that, but it does get some, and it'd be nice to get a little bit of feedback on it sometime. So is there anything you'd like me to do different, like do it in different locations, like stick to the hobby room, what? Unless I'm poorly, of course. But yes, let me know your thoughts, and if you've got any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I'll get to it on another video. So do give it a thumbs up though, that's the least you can do. Come on, hit that like button, do me a favour, help a brother out. Don't forget, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on another video, and bye for now. Bye bye.